Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, the invisible cage keeping smart people broke. There is a thermostat inside your mind. You did not install it. You did not choose the setting, and you probably do not even know it is there. But it is running right now, quietly, constantly, every single day. And it is controlling exactly how much money you are allowed to keep. Not how much you can earn. How much you can keep. Because some people earn 6 figures and still live paycheck to paycheck. Some people win the lottery and go broke within 5 years. Some people build a business, hit a ceiling, and sabotage everything right when it starts working. And the answer is not discipline. It is not strategy. It is not another budget spreadsheet. The answer is a financial blueprint buried so deep in your subconscious that most people will live their entire lives without ever knowing it exists. Harv Eker wrote a book about it. It is called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, and it does not teach you how to make money. It teaches you why your brain keeps rejecting it. They never taught you this. Here is the trap most people are stuck inside and do not even realize it. You were raised inside a money story. Not your money story, someone else's. Your parents had beliefs about money. Your family had habits around money. Your environment had rules about money. And before you were old enough to question any of it, those beliefs got installed like software into the back of your mind. Maybe you heard money is the root of all evil. Maybe you heard rich people are greedy. Maybe you heard we cannot afford that so many times it became your default setting. Maybe nobody said anything at all. Maybe you just watched. You watched your parents fight about bills. You watched them avoid conversations about debt. You watched them shrink every time money came up, and your subconscious took notes. It built a blueprint, a financial thermostat, a setting for how much money you are allowed to have before your own mind starts pulling you back down. And here's the part that hurts. You can read every finance book ever written. You can learn every investment strategy. You can hustle 16 hours a day. But if your internal thermostat is set to $50,000, your brain will find a way to get you back to $50,000. Every single time. You will overspend when things are going well. You will sabotage opportunities right before they pay off. You will pick fights, make bad decisions, and unconsciously destroy the exact thing you were building. Not because you are weak, because your thermostat is doing its job, and nobody taught you how to reset it. That is the cage. You are not fighting the economy. You are not fighting bad luck. You are fighting a program you did not write, running on hardware you did not choose, producing results you do not want. And until you see the program, you cannot change the output. So let us open the code. Eker breaks the blueprint down into one core principle that changes everything once you understand it. Roots create fruits. That is it. That is the whole architecture. You cannot change the fruit by attacking the fruit. You have to go underground. You have to change the root. And the root of every financial result in your life follows a specific sequence. Your programming creates your thoughts. Your thoughts create your feelings. Your feelings create your actions. Your actions create your results. Programming, thoughts, feelings, actions, results. That is the chain. And if you try to fix your results without fixing your programming, you are pulling rotten fruit off a tree and expecting the next batch to taste different. It will not. So, where did the programming come from? Eker identifies 3 sources. The first source is verbal programming. Everything you heard about money as a child. Money does not grow on trees. Rich people are dishonest. You have to work hard for every dollar. We are not that kind of family. These phrases did not bounce off you. They embedded. They became beliefs. And beliefs become behaviors. The second source is modeling. What you saw. How your parents handled money. Whether they saved or spent. Whether they were generous or fearful. Whether they talked about money openly or treated it like a shameful secret. You did not just observe those patterns. You absorbed them. And now you are repeating them without realizing it. The third source is specific incidents, emotional events involving money that left a mark. Maybe your family lost everything and you decided money is dangerous. Maybe someone wealthy treated you badly and you decided rich people are cruel. Maybe you got shamed for wanting something nice and you decided desire itself was wrong. One event, one emotion, one decision made by a child. And that decision is still running your financial life decades later. That is how the blueprint gets written. Not through logic, through emotion, through repetition. Through experiences you were too young to process. And the most dangerous part is that the blueprint feels like truth. It does not feel like programming. It feels like who you are. But it is not who you are. It is what was installed. And once you see the installation, you can begin the override. So here is how you actually reset the thermostat. Ecker gives you a system, and it works in 3 stages. Stage 1. Awareness. You cannot change what you cannot see. So the first move is to identify your money blueprint. Write down every belief you hold about money. Do not filter. Do not judge. Just write. Money is hard to make. Rich people are selfish. I am not good with numbers. I do not deserve to be wealthy. There is never enough. Then ask yourself one question for each belief. Is this mine, or was this installed? Most of the time, the answer will shock you. Because most of your money beliefs are hand-me-downs from people who were also broke. You have been running someone else's financial software your entire life. Stage 2. Disassociation. Once you see the belief, you separate from it. This is not my thought. This was my father's fear. This was my mother's limitation. This was my environment's ceiling. I can acknowledge where it came from without letting it drive where I am going. This is the hardest part, because your identity is wrapped around these beliefs. Letting them go feels like losing a part of yourself. But you are not losing yourself. You are finding yourself underneath someone else's programming. Stage 3. Reconditioning. Replace the old programming with new declarations, not affirmations. Declarations. There is a difference. An affirmation says I am rich while you are staring at an empty bank account and your brain calls you a liar. A declaration says my mind creates my results, and I am reprogramming my mind for wealth. That is not a fantasy. That is a process. Ecker uses 17 wealth files, 17 specific contrasts between how rich people think and how poor people think. Rich people believe I create my life. Poor people believe life happens to me. Rich people play to win. Poor people play not to lose. Rich people admire other wealthy people. Poor people resent them. Rich people are willing to promote themselves and their value. Poor people think selling is beneath them. Rich people are bigger than their problems. Poor people are smaller than their problems. Rich people focus on net worth. Poor people focus on working income. Rich people manage their money well. Poor people avoid managing money at all. Each one of these is not just a mindset shift. It is a thermostat adjustment. Every time you catch yourself thinking like the old blueprint and consciously choose the new file, you are raising the setting. Not overnight. Not through magic, through repetition, through awareness, through refusing to let dead programming run a living life. That is the system. Awareness, disassociation, reconditioning. One belief at a time. One declaration at a time. One degree at a time. Until the thermostat matches the life you are actually building. So here is the real question. What is your thermostat set to right now? Not what you want it to be, what it actually is. Look at your bank account. Look at your patterns. Look at what happens every time you start to get ahead. If the same ceiling keeps appearing, it is not bad luck. It is not the economy. It is not your boss. It is the blueprint. and now you know it is there. Ecker said something in this book that most people read and forget, but the outlaw remembers it. If your subconscious financial blueprint is not set for success, nothing you learn, nothing you know, and nothing you do will make much of a difference. Read that again. Nothing you learn, nothing you know, nothing you do. Because knowledge without the right programming is just information sitting on top of sabotage. So do not just watch this video and move on. Go write down your money beliefs tonight, every single one. Find the ones that were installed by someone else, and start the override. Comment blueprint below if you are ready to reset your financial thermostat. The link to the book is in the description. Go read it. Or listen to it. But do not skip it. And watch the video on screen next. Because now that you understand the thermostat, you need to understand the vehicle. The next book reveals why the advice to save, invest, and wait 40 years is the most expensive lie ever sold to hardworking people. And why the people who actually built wealth did the exact opposite. Until next time, stay wise, stay free, and reprogram your mind before the old blueprint builds your life for you.